In this video, I'm going to run through how to add a property on your account if it's a HMO property and set up the correct tenancy based on all the tenants in your HMO property moving in and out at the same time. So they're under the same tenancy agreement and the same deposit in the property as well. So the first thing you need to do is add the property. So you hit the plus icon in the top left-hand corner, hit add property and add in the property details. So choose whether it's a house, apartment, bungalow, etc. But with a HMO, it's likely to be a house. You then choose a template which best reflects that property and then populate the property address, which I'm just going to do now. The key thing about setting up this property is when you're setting it up is to get all of the rooms in the property exactly how you want it. You can add in an exterior property photo as well, which I'm going to locate here. This will appear on the front cover of the report. You can put the property type, so you can put HMO and move on to the next stage. The next stage is to then choose the property room. So it's likely, obviously in a HMO property, it's got multiple bedrooms and en suites, for example. So you can say, right, this is a 6-bed, 6 en suite. There's a living room, dining room, kitchen. There's a bathroom. There's no conservatory, but there's a driveway and a front garden, for example. So you can add all of these in the property. Then it will give you a summary here. What I would also advise is to move the en suites towards the bedrooms, because it's likely when you go and inspect the property that the ensuite would follow the bedroom that you're inspecting, because it's obviously each tenant in the property will be allocated a bedroom. So that's all of the rooms in the property, which I'm happy with. You hit save and next, and then you can add in the utility meter details as well. There's other training videos on how to set this up on the property if you want to. So do have a look at our support articles for those. But in this case, I'm just going to click not required and move on. That will then set up the property, and the property is set up. And now the next thing you need to do is add in your HMO tenancies. So all you do, you click on the cog here and click add tenancy. You can populate the details in now, what we're going to do. And the crucial thing is that as mentioned before, if all of the tenants are moving in and out at the same time or a very similar time, they're under the same tenancy agreement and the same deposit, you must select HMO tenancy type. You can select a single tenancy type if the tenants are moving in and out at different times and they have their own individual deposits. But for this example, we're choosing a HMO tenancy. You put the tenancy start date, a reference if you've got it, whether it's fully managed, let only, etc. You then move on to the next stage, and then you populate all of your tenants' details. So I'm just going to fill this in very quickly. So I'm just going to put Joe Blogs. You can also populate their contact telephone number and email address in as well, because when you create a check-in report, for example, that can be emailed across to each individual tenant via email, and they can comment and sign off that report at the very start of the tenancy. So I'm just going to put 4 or 5 tenants in here. So what I'm just going to do now is skip this and skip to the next stage as if I've populated all the tenants' details. So I've added all of the tenants into the property. You then click done, and then it's all showing on here. So it will just show Joe Blogs here as the first name because that's the first tenant I populated in. But if you click on edit tenancy and on the save and next button, they are all showing here. The next stage is to then add your report. So you click add report. I'm just going to do a check-in inventory for this example. I'm going to start from scratch, but what you can do on Inventory Hive is recycle reports if you want to. You then click save and next, and that will generate your report. What you then need to do is then allocate those tenants to the relevant rooms in the property so that they'll be responsible for those rooms if anything should happen in the property. So you click rooms and spaces. It's listed all of the rooms in the property. What you can also do is rename the rooms. So you've got bedroom 1, for example, and then you can assign it to one of the tenants. So let's say in bedroom 1, Joe Blogs is living in there. And then in ensuite, I'm going to rename that to ensuite 1. And Joe Bloggs is in that one as well. So now you can see Joe Bloggs has been assigned to those rooms. You can then do the same for the other bedroom. So I'll just assign a room to Mary Poppins this time. And I'll do the same with the next ensuite, and so on and so forth. So all you simply do is assign the relevant tenants to the relevant rooms that they'll be responsible for. The reason it's done like this, because it will probably be unfair for Joe Bloggs, who's living in bedroom and ensuite number 1, to be responsible for any damages and defects that happens in the other bedrooms that other tenants are living in. So this is the best way to add your property on the account, set up a HMO tenancy and assign rooms to those particular tenants if they're all moving in at the same time and under the same tenancy agreement. You then go to the property and conduct your reports, record the condition cleanliness of each room, take the photographs, and it can be submitted off to each tenant individually, and they'll be able to sign and confirm the contents of the report and provide feedback if needed.